What's up, y'all? Welcome to Sabrina Talks. I'm Sabrina if you're new. If you're not, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, today on Sabrina Talks, we are going to be talking about Doja Cat's third studio album, Planet Her. Now, Planet Her has about 14 songs, and then there's a deluxe version that came out a couple of days after the album came out, and that also has an additional 4 songs. So I'll be talking about the full deluxe album because it's out and I've heard all of the songs. And this album features artists like The Weeknd, Ariana Grande, Jid, Young Thug, and Gunna, and even Eve. If you're new to my channel, hi, hello, I'm Sabrina. I talk about movies, I talk about TV shows, I talk about music, obviously. I've done reviews on Ariana Grande's Positions, Olivia Rodrigo's Sour, Justin Bieber's new album. I've done many reviews on my channel, so you could go check it out. You can also follow me on social media at Sabrina Talks 2 on Instagram and Twitter, and at Sabrina Talks 2U on TikTok. Now let's get to this review. So initially when Doja Cat announced that she was making a new album, I was just super excited because I love Doja Cat and I really enjoyed her last album, Hot Pink. She kind of milked Hot Pink for all of its worth for like almost 2 years or something. So I was just very excited to get new music from Doja because we hear her being featured on other people's songs on like TikTok at all times. So I'm like, yes, we could just get a whole new album that she can really do something with for the next year. Now, however, as we get into more of my detailed thoughts about this album, I was just a little bit disappointed, and I'll explain to you why. First, I want to go track by track and kind of tell you the songs that I did like, that I didn't like, and the songs that I'm either indifferent to or I'm just kind of conflicted about. So let's get into the songs that I just don't like, because let's get the negativity out the way. First song to me that was an immediate no when I heard it is Payday featuring Young Thug. Now, I am not the biggest Young Thug fan. Most times he's in a song, I just don't care for it. I thought this song might grow on me because though I don't fully like Young Thug, he doesn't fully annoy me with his like squeak rapping that he be doing, but the way Doja does it and then added on to him, it's just too many people squeaking rapping at me and I'm just not a fan. So I was like, yeah, we're just gonna give up this train of trying to let this song grow on me because I just generally do not like it. The next song is another deluxe track and it's another one of those squeaky rapping that she does, and this is YY featuring Gunna. Once again, I'm just not a fan of people who squeak rap because to my ears, it just does not sound good. And I can't even pay attention to the lyrics because I'm so irritated about the voice that they're doing. So once again, another no. The last song that I actively do not like on this album is Up and Down. Now, there's nothing terribly wrong with this song. It's just basic and it feels lame. It feels beneath Doja because the lyrics in it, the beat of the song, it just sounds typical. All of it is just a no for me. Let's move on to songs that conflict me or songs that I just generally don't care for. So you'll see that there's a theme throughout all the songs that conflict me because there are going to be portions of the songs that I really enjoy, but there's going to be other portions of the same song that I'm like, did you really need to do that? Like, and generally it tends to be places where I think she probably should be rapping. She sings, and I'll get into more detail with some of these songs. So let's start off with Naked. Naked is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. I enjoy Naked, right? The beat is popping. She sounds great. There's some cute bars in there. But her verses where she's singing, I wish she would be rapping and just kind of leave the singing to the chorus or the pre-chorus or whatever. Like, the lyrics are not the issue for me, it's the delivery of whether or not she's singing or rapping, and I usually tend to like her just rapping and leaving the singing for something else. The next song is Get Into It. Yeah, I really like the bars that she does in this song. I love her little homage to Nicki Minaj towards the ending of the song where she does that like style of rapping Nicki does, especially in the song Massive Attack. I just love that she, you know, ended the song saying like, thanks Nicki, because Doja is very much of like a child of Nicki. She has the eccentricness that Nicki started off with. She's good at rapping. So I just really enjoyed that fact that she did that. However, that little like Playboy Cardi / Coi Leray singing, squeaking thing that she does, not a fan. Not a fan at all. It doesn't hit the way I want it to, and it prevents me from wanting to actively listen to the song because every time the chorus comes around, I just get annoyed and that just makes me sad. So that song, even though I think it's probably one of the better songs off of this album and one of the songs that if it was a single, it would definitely do really well. To me personally, it just doesn't hit the way I wanted it to. Been Like This is the next song I want to talk about. This is a song that doesn't conflict me. It's just a song that I just kind of don't care for. I've seen people say that this song is kind of like a cousin of Streets from her Hot Pink album, which I definitely agree with. However, I think I like Streets more. It's just kind of boring to me. It's not bad, you know, it's not great, but it's just kind of like, okay, I wish there was something more to it. The next song is another song where she does like the squeaky high-pitched voice, and that song is Options. Now, Options is a full-on bop. I'm not even gonna try to hold y'all, but it's the squeaky high-pitched nonsense that she does that really messes with me, because I actually really like Jid's verse. I love her verse, but I just be feeling conflicted whenever she does that like squeaky high voice. I don't know if I would actively choose to listen to Options, but I wouldn't stop it if I was listening to like a Doja Cat playlist, if that makes sense. The song Imagine is another song I just don't really care for. It doesn't really do anything for me. Like I said with Been Like This, it's just kind of boring and it's just kind of there. The chorus does remind me of something maybe Ariana Grande would do in like Positions or in Thank You Next, but you know, it's just kind of okay. It's there. It's a song that's just there. Alone is one of the main songs that really conflict me, because I really enjoyed this song, right? Doja's talking about some vulnerable things. She's doing some really good lyrics. The production is really beautiful on this song, but for some reason I'm still kind of bored by it. In this song specifically, her rapping verse, I love the style that she does there because it's very like classic hip hop, especially over that kind of beat. But I wish she either would have made this song a full singing song, or she would have made it a full rapping song and just had the choruses where she's singing, because I really enjoyed the inflection and the style of rapping that she does in that last verse, and I kind of wish it was in that first her first like singing verse, but that just doesn't happen. Lastly, for the songs that leave me conflicted or I just don't care for, we're going to talk about the rest of the deluxe tracks. In my most recent ranking all of Ariana Grande's songs album, I mentioned how I don't truly like deluxe songs most of the time, but these deluxe tracks are just okay. I think Ride is the best out of all of them. Tonight with Eve is good, but it's not where I really wanted it to be. And then You Write, the extended version, that's fine. I prefer just the one that's on the standard album. So all of them really just kind of made me go, yeah, okay, except for YY, that I actively disliked. But let's talk about some of the songs that I actually really enjoy. First of all, Woman. Perfect opening track for this album. I love it. The Afrobeat style is just great for her, and I think she sounds really natural with it. It's just a good time. I love the things that she talks about being a woman and how we treat each other and how society wants us to treat each other like it's Mean Girls. Love it. Kiss Me More, we already know that's a full bop. I mean, Scissors on it. It's a certified pop song. It sounds kind of like Maroon 5, but like back in the good days, not like nowadays where they're just kind of making whatever. Niggas Ain't is a great song. It just really cracks me up, honestly. I can't listen to that song without laughing because some of her bars on there are generally funny to me. The only thing is I thought this song was going to be a little bit more aggressive. That's not anything to really deter me from liking this because I think it's just generally good. Need to Know was the second single and I really enjoyed it. I like that it was different from Kiss Me More. I especially love the second verse of this song because the whole flow that she does is just wonderful, and just the things that she says is just great. The next song we get another Ariana Grande and Doja Cat collab, and this song is I Don't Do Drugs. Now, when I was expecting a Doja Cat and Ariana Grande collab on this album, I thought it was going to be something really upbeat. I thought it was going to be something really like, yes, let me shake my behind to this, or just something really fun. Now, this is not what I was expecting, but I'm still pretty happy with this. I think they sound beautiful. Like I said, I enjoy when Doja does sing because I think she's one of the few rapper singers who can actually sing. So she sounds good on here, and plus, you know, Ariana Grande always sounds great. I think they really do mesh well together, so I would like to see more collabs with them. I also really enjoyed the little oohs that they do together and harmonize together. It's just beautiful. It's a very pretty song. Speaking of pretty songs, Love to Dream is the next song that I like off this album. I think it's just, like I said, very pretty. We get more singing from Doja in this song compared to the rest of them, and it just sounds really, really good. The last song that I really love from this album is You Right featuring The Weeknd. This song I think was a good choice to be a single, but I think it should have came like post album drop, like maybe a couple of months down the line, and probably Get Into It should have been like in its place, at least in like single sequences. But I really enjoyed the chorus to this. I also especially love The Weeknd's verse because he kind of gives me the same vibes of when he was in Off the Table with Ariana Grande, and the same vibes of Price Tags by Jasmine Sullivan featuring Anderson .Paak, where the male featured artist is singing from the male perspective in the song, so it adds to the story of the song. I really enjoyed that. Now I want to talk about the production and the lyrics throughout this whole album. I am not a production aficionado, but I just wanted to point out some things. Personally, I think the production on this album sounds very good. I think it sounds very cohesive. Definitely gives off all of the like pop, R&B, hip hop vibes that it needs to be a Doja Cat album, especially on songs like Options, where it's a little more hip hop, rap, and then a little more R&B on songs like Alone and I Don't Do Drugs, and then Kiss Me More, like I said, is just a certified pop song. But I will say with the production, I don't think the beats that they chose sound, you know, kind of otherworldly that I imagined this album would be, because it's called Planet Her. The visuals that she has provided so far with this album are all kind of like alien and weird and kind of quirky, but I don't hear that in the songs. They just sound kind of typical. I thought there might be some like interesting sounds with like maybe like computer noises or just like sounds that you would kind of associate with like space. That's what I was kind of envisioning, but that's not what really came onto this album. I think most of her bars and her lyrics on this album are quite cohesive with what I imagine and expect from Doja Cat, except for that song Up and Down. Like I said before, it just sounds so basic, especially when she says life can take you higher, then you're feeling low, then you're going up and down, kind of like a yo-yo. It's not terrible, but it's just bland. It's boring. It's not the kind of bars I would associate with Doja, because to me Doja is more clever than that. Overall though, I think this album is okay. Like, it's pretty decent. I don't think it's terrible and I don't think it's fantastic. Kind of how I felt like with Good News, Megan Thee Stallion's first album. It doesn't make me angry, or it doesn't make me, you know, want to do backflips because it's so good. It's just kind of like, okay, you know, that was cute. Sure. What I really think is the case though is Doja tends to fall into how I feel about most rappers that I really enjoy. I'm not a rap girl, so whenever I do listen to a rap album, most of the time I don't like a rap album from top to bottom. Like a pop album, R&B album, even a maybe like a pop rock album, I can like every single song. But for some reason, rap albums just don't be doing it for me. It's always like a hit or miss with the songs. And that's how I think this album is for me. Same with, like I said, Good News. Even especially with like Nicki Minaj, who's, you know, Miss Queen of Rap. I don't always like all of the songs on her albums because there's always just gonna be one rap song or a couple rap songs that I just do not care for, or I just actively do not like. What I think my biggest issue with this album is kind of like what I was talking about in the songs that conflict me. There's moments in this album that are fantastic, top notch, wonderful. And then there's moments in this album where I'm like, but if you would have done this differently, or if you would have done this and not sing here but rap here, I would have liked it more. And I think that's my biggest issue. I've noticed Doja tends to have a formula when it comes to her songs. She usually starts off singing, or her last couple of verses would be her rapping. And I think it works for some songs, but it doesn't work for all songs. I think there's some songs where she needs to be rapping the whole time and leave the singing to the choruses and like the bridges, or she just needs to do like a completely singing song and not fully rap, but do like a little sing-song rap. That I think would make the album much better. But she's kind of sticking to that formula and it's not always hitting for me. To me, it's not as weird and as wacky as I expect a Doja Cat album to be. I don't want to call it basic because there's still, you know, the remnants of Doja. You can still see this is a Doja Cat album, but it doesn't have anything that makes me go, that's interesting, Doja. Kind of like how her first album, Amala, had like Moo, and Hot Pink has like Cybersex, where it has more like computery tones and it sounds a little more futuristic, and then Bottom Bitch has like a hip hop rock kind of aesthetic to it. Like, those are the kind of interesting, wacky, weird things that I expect from Doja, and I just don't think I got it on this album. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts on Planet Her. I give this album a rating of a 5.5 out of 14. So if you're new to my channel and have never seen me do an album review before, I rate my albums on how many songs that I save onto my Spotify. I do that mainly because I don't really care for ratings when it comes to music reviews, because the criteria for everybody's rating, one, never really is announced to people, and two, just doesn't make sense to me as somebody who might potentially view my video and try to see if they want to listen to this album. So I do it by how many songs I save onto my Spotify, because I have almost like 3,000 songs on my Spotify. So if I save a song, it means I really like it and I'm actively going to listen to it. So I think that's a better gauge of an album, to me at least. I'll also give you my like verbal opinion on the album as well as my rating, just so you can kind of see where I stand. The songs that I saved are Woman, I Don't Do Drugs, Need to Know, Love to Dream, and Kiss Me More. And then the half is for Getting to Ya and Options, because like I said, I do really like those songs. It's just the moments that I'm like, no thank you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like down below if you feel like it. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought about Planet Her. Let me know if you have any favorite songs off this album. Tell me if you agree with some of my thoughts about this album. You can also talk to me on my social media at Sabrina Talks 2 on Twitter and Instagram, and at Sabrina Talks 2U on TikTok. Subscribe to my channel for more music reviews, more movie reviews, TV show reviews. The Gossip Girl reboot has just came out, so I probably will be doing a video on that. My next video will most likely be a season 2 review of Love, Victor. You can watch my season 1 review of Love, Victor in the cards and in my description down below. In my last video, I highlighted 5 black songwriters because it was Black Music Month in June. So go watch all of that if you feel like it. Subscribe to my channel if you also feel like it, which I hope you do. As always, please remember to be safe, be smart, be kind, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye guys!